Doesn't matter what it is, Miata is always the answer. Hey. Next to me is a 2004 Mazdaspeed Miata. Mazdaspeed is Mazda's in-house performance division, much like what TRD is to Toyota. They put a little bit more power into a baseline model, and I personally think this car needed that treatment. I'm not too familiar with Mazdas, so I was unaware that any of them, except for maybe the RX-7, were special models, but apparently this is pretty rare. About 5,500 of these were made between the 2004 and 2005 model years. Reason being is because Mazda's #1 plant suffered from a major fire, halting production of the Miata. It resulted in a loss of about 30,000 vehicles, except for this guy.
This example isn't the cleanest, with a couple of dings along the body and the typical Miata rust over the wheel well. But the owner, John, didn't buy this to baby it in the first place. He frequently tracks and autocrosses this little turboed machine and puts it through its paces. He's done a good amount of mods, most of all of them purchased from Flyin Miata, including the Little Enchilada kit to help the car breathe better, as well as suspension to decrease the body roll. He's also done a rim and tire upgrade. The full parts list is placed in the description below. You may be thinking what I'm thinking, how much body roll could a Miata have that would warrant new suspension? And apparently it's way more than I would have thought. Check this out. Now, besides the typical issues with a convertible, we did have some technical issues with my equipment, so forgive some of the rough cuts. Still, it was a fun day Miata-ing around town with John.
It's counting now.
Excellent. Now
we are
we've got
recording. Just so you know, we're two tech guys.
Yes.
I didn't hit the record button. Yeah. All right, all the cameras are on. We did it.
We're available for
good
hire.
to go.
Just in case
you want something to kind of work.
So here's it open, right? So
it's not bad.
It's good.
It's not bad. I'm used to my turbo now. I get scared to shit my own car all the time. But this isn't a car I would put on a straight line and be like, how come I'm not impressed?
Yeah, right. Like, why am I not at the drag strip?
Is this a stock short throw shifter?
Yes.
Wow, that's really impressive for a stock
really nice, yeah. And it does a good job. The challenge with it is finding the gears, and when you're in a short, tight performance situation and you really want to be ripping through it, sitting there.
Yeah.
You know, you're just constantly shifting.
And what are your tires on this now? You got Bridgestones?
Bridgestone. It's the RE71s, which are the sweetheart right now. It is 200 medium. I'll get 10, 12,000 miles out of it, and I replaced the rims on this.
I like these rims though, they look nice.
But they look nice.
Like you were saying you were bending rims, or
I was bending rims. I mean, like a chipmunk would shit on the road and I'd have a bent rim.
Besides the summers though, I think you mentioned to me personally that you had winters going.
Yes.
And this car, as a winter driver, with snow tires, seems funny to me.
All season tires are not what I'm driving on now, so why would I drive
so what's
an
your
all season
option?
in the
Exactly,
winter?
yeah. What are you going to swap to an all season? It's pointless.
Stupid.
I honestly would love to do a follow-up video with you when you get those on.
Yeah, sure.
Like just trail you in my Subaru going sideways. Here, go on the right of this guy. Try to get around him, because this goes to one lane. We want to have fun.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
My father has a CRV. You can beat this guy.
Yeah, I think,
I think
we got this.
Oh, missing third.
Oh no. See, that's the problem. It is a challenge, and if you look at Matt Farah did an interview or a review of this as well, he also was having trouble finding gears. So at least I'm not alone. So the thing about the power band on this car is that it's a nice, smooth, clean uptick in power. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't bursty, since in an autocross application especially, if I'm going to be stuck in third gear, I want that lower torque and I want to be able to grab it and just keep going. For having now, supposedly, I haven't dynoed it, 200 horsepower, there's a point where you start to put too much power into the car and you start to lose the heart and like kind of concept of the vehicle.
And you're more scared of the gas pedal than you are excited about it.
Right, and you don't know how to predict it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that Flyin Miata, which makes all the parts that I bought, and the V-MAXXX suspension, they sell that. They work with companies to do a lot of testing of the parts. So when we're talking about like turbo and how unpredictable it can be, you know, when you're making changes to a vehicle in a way, you want to make sure that you do that with somebody who knows what they're doing. You want to have a mentor, and maintenance is definitely cheap. Not only for the performance parts, which are on the high end, but a front rotor is $70. The brake pads, you get away with $40, you know, street pads. Supercar fun for no budget.
I get why there's a cult following for a car like this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what were the other competing cars like this?
If you wanted a car like this in around 1990,
what were your other options?
You didn't.
If we're not even discussing like at its initial
90s.
Release of a Miata, I would say maybe a BRZ or an FRS today.
But
it's still a different car. You got, is a Lotus Elise even drop top, or is that hard? Is that just?
It's T-top.
So I would say that, but your price ranges are now double. And if you're talking used market, you're still stuck with a Miata.
Yeah, it's great bang for the buck. You start to look at other cars. You start to look at the S2000. Yes, the Boxster.
Okay, wait, I didn't think of the S2000.
Yeah, now
like
that's
a Z4.
powerful.
Yeah,
and a Z4. You start looking at a Z4, the Audi
How
TT.
much was an S2000 compared to this?
It was more expensive.
How much?
I want to say out of the showroom, it was another $4 or $5 grand.
I gotta say, I think I would have saved up.
Yeah.
I mean, the S2000 to me is a way cooler car than this.
Big difference.
Looks and everything else.
Yeah.
Here I am flapping my trap about how the S2000 would be a better option. I've never even driven one. So to remind me of why Miata is always the answer, John let me hop in the driver's seat to see what I thought about it.
I mean, you're thin.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not fat.
My nickname's Twig, for the love of God.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not fat, but I'm not as thin as you, but this is friggin' tight.
It's tight.
Yeah.
You're not
but this is just the method of the seat.
Yes.
When you get a racing seat, this is what you get along with it.
This is what you get.
I like your fancy foot pedals, by the way.
Thank you. That's also a Mazdaspeed uptick right there.
Okay, well, that's nice. That's nice. This clutch is good. I would expect it to kind of pick up a little bit higher, though.
Yeah.
Quite honestly. Their gearing is short.
Their gearing is short.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a chore for the 6-speed.
Oh, that is fun. This is immediately fun. I'm immediately having a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That catches immediately your clutch. This is a stock clutch.
Stock clutch. Makes all the fun.
Oh, this is great, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, passenger seat does no justice.
No.
You know, I never realized how wide I spread my legs when I drive.
Until you can't.
Because this thing is just like, no. You're in one position.
You're in a little cockpit.
I don't think I would get a seat like this.
No.
I don't like the seat.
The padding is like a bunch of squirrel fur. Like there's
nothing going on in this thing. Yeah.
And the thing is the point for me was getting my head down. Like I am significantly higher. I'm above the windscreen.
Your A-pillar is your friend right now.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife was always like, "You're gonna hit the guy," and I'm like, "What guy?" So if you're tall and you're looking at a Miata, you're looking at swapping out that seat, unless you like to have advanced hair loss real early. The thing is it's a safety thing too. Like a lot of people will put in bucket seats thinking, oh, they're safer in a rollover. They're less.
I think your main thing is if you have the ability to roll over a Miata, you shouldn't be driving in the first place.
You did something extraordinary.
You did something crazy.
You should get into stunt driving.
That is fantastic. I would just need a little bit more practice because your clutch catches immediately, your accelerator immediately reacts. So I'm getting a little bit jumpy on my gear shifts when I'm trying to be aggressive with it.
I'm jumpy on it too, don't worry about it.
This is a great driving car. I kind of fell in love with this car right away. Awesome. I will say that. And I don't want to go fast. I just want to take corners.
Yeah. Straight's nice, but the corners are
You're right, I can't find fifth. Is that fifth?
That's fifth.
That is fifth.
Yeah.
And this is a 6-gear.
6-speed.
Reverse is all the way over and up?
Over and down. I'm
going to avoid 6th gear. I just want to keep my distance from that guy so when I find a sweet corner, I can Miata the crap out of it. Is Miata used as a verb?
Yeah.
I'm going to Miata the shit out of this road.
Listen, that's it. Well, if Miata is always the answer, then you can always we'll Miata this. I'll show you.
Dude, rev matching is super easy.
There's a reason this is one of the first entry motorsport cars people get. And it's a really, really solid platform to improve on. It's predictable. It's not overpowered.
Dude, that grabs up friggin' nice. Wow, that Winnebago was so much closer to my car than I thought. I mean, every gear picks up fantastically.
This kit, with the Little Enchilada they call it, it fixed all my distance problems. That torque issue solved it.
So that's the only place I keep f***ing up, and I'm terrified of going back into third. And it's because I keep falling over to the reverse area.
Yes.
But fifth has got a lot of going it still.
Still got a lot of room.
You can play with every gear, and you know, it really isn't that boring when you're sitting on a highway either.
No.
Come to think of it. This is a ton of fun, dude.
Yeah, this is the way I wanted this car to be.
Yeah.
These little back roads, just hooking it up.
You gonna do anything else to it after this?
Roll bar has got to go in.
Yeah, you said roll bar
And,
for track use?
Track use, and I got to change to a bucket seat for this for an instructor.
I'm trying to pay attention to the road markers, so if it's saying 30, I'm trying to respect that. But I clearly could have taken this at 120 miles an hour. And I looked for fifth for half an hour. And you were saying that the turbo kicks in around 3,500, as if that was too high of an RPM, but your cruise speed is around 3,000.
Yes.
And even then,
it's there.
I start to pull it. I mean, I'm not jabbing the throttle, obviously, but it spools up quick, and it's nice. I like this.
Thanks, man.
I dig this a lot.
It's good.
Wow, this transmission gets nice and toasty, huh?
Everything is so close.
Yeah.
Everything's so tight.
I'm feeling that heat come through. Must be nice in the winter.
So we're gonna get off of a road on an exit. It's very tight. It's a 10-mile-an-hour turn. You should be able to carry in some good speed on it.
Okay.
And bring it in. Okay. Yep, you're good. You give it a lot more. You're gonna bring it all the way around.
I could have done that much harder. Left or right?
You're good on the right. You take a right.
Take a right?
Oh, sorry, left.
You point left and you say right. I'm dying to be corrected or see how either wrong or right I am by driving an S2000.
So the S2000 is more aggressive all around. If you want a car that's a little closer to race feeling, that's it. It's a tighter cockpit, if you can imagine that. It's got this much power already. I've been in it for autocross and I've been in one for a track day. So that's putting it to its fullest extreme.
Yeah, okay.
That was just a more aggressive car all around.
Okay, interesting.
So if you were trying to just get around town, use it as a daily, I feel like you would waste that car.
Versus this would be your better answer for a daily. Yeah.
For a daily.
I trust John's opinion when it comes to a comparison like that, since he spent time on the track in cars like the Honda S2000 and Porsche 911. He's a technical guy like me. He pays attention to the minutiae of things, and it shows by the way he talks. Odds are we didn't think of other viable options besides a Miata, like the MR2 or a Z3, but let me know what you think in the comments. What would you drive instead of a Miata? Or is it true that Miata is always the answer? If you enjoyed this video, our banter, and my cackling laugh, which believe you me, I'm aware of how annoying it is, then hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you hate me and this car, dislike it and know you're not welcome on my channel. I joke, of course. It may take a while, but a video is always in the works. But thank you for watching this one.
Yeah, let's. I want to do the over 5,000 because I feel it, because I know fucking YouTube people, man. They're fucking relentless. Yeah. But he said this.